What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. I want to start off by going over some Lucid Expansion, especially more so there's some pretty good updates in that regard. Outside of that, there was some news that did come down as well that might affect the PIF and through them affect Lucid. And outside of that, I just want to talk generally what the hell is going on with Lucid. So I'm going to go over all that fun stuff. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. With that, let's get right to it. So as you can see, $13.64. We are very much red, 4.5% down in fact, or 4.55%. And from the get-go today, it was very much negative. And it's very weird. I was looking at a lot of the futures first thing in the morning and everything was fairly optimistic. So let me know your thoughts on that. But I do want to go over some additional information, one of which is shorts. So shorts are really starting to double down with Lucid once again. So short interest, or short score I should say, is 87. Higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. But 1.69 million shares are being additionally shorted today. 22.32 is the short interest, and 132.2 million shares in total are being shorted. So definitely this is one X factor that isn't really helping anyone in the grand scheme of things, is shorts doubling down. And outside of this though, there is a lot of people anticipating different options how tomorrow could play out with the Fed interest rate decision. And right now it is forecasted to be 75 basis points. And personally, that's been known for quite some time. So it's fair to say that's already been factored into the price. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But for any reason, if it is 50 basis points, anticipate us to go up very, very fast. So that's a positive thing at least. So let me know your thoughts if you feel it's going to be 75 or 50 basis points, or maybe if you think it's going to be 100. But no matter what though, I think it should come down to Powell on how he talks. If it's going to be aggressive, calming tone, or whatever it might be in his discussion afterwards, definitely will cause ripples no matter what through the economy. So definitely something to keep in mind. When it comes down to Lucid Expansion, there's very few ways that we can predict exactly what Lucid may or may not do. But there is one good way to kind of give a good estimate, and that is through here, where they are hiring. And as of right now, it does look like they are hiring for Shanghai. So in China, that is a very positive thing because I haven't heard any updates as far as China until I believe it was the tail end of 2021. So as of then, they were saying that they're going to have a facility there by mid-decade, so 2025. But outside of that, they have not talked on it one bit. Not during the Q4 2021 earnings, Q1 or Q2. They have not talked on it at all. So it was fair to say that they were going to scrap the idea, especially with all the fear and so forth in the market. But it does appear, especially based on the type of positions that they are hiring, it is going to be a actual facility out in actual China. So that could be a very positive thing. When I have touched on this in previous videos, a lot of people are very mixed. Some people do not like this at all, feel that it's a very bad idea. So let me know your thoughts on that. I know some people don't necessarily like that. I'm a big numbers guy and the numbers speak for themselves. So there's a huge demand out in China and we can capitalize on that. And that's why I really like Lucid's expansion, is because everywhere that they are planning to go, whether it be Europe, Saudi Arabia, or now China, all have very big demand for EVs. So definitely Lucid could capitalize on all of that. So let me know your thoughts on that. The only thing that I think of next now is funding. How are they going to fund this? Because when it comes down to the Saudi factory, the PIF is paying roughly about 3.4 billion in incentives, grants to Lucid, or kind of combination of the two, for them to build that facility. But I don't anticipate them forking out any money for the China facility. So it might be something for us to just be aware of. And keeping in line with the PIF, as I've already mentioned, there was this that did come out. So Saudi Arabia on high alert on possible warning attacks from Iran. So potentially that might affect us through obviously the PIF, because keep in mind when a country is attacked per se, and this is obviously linked to oil, but when a country is attacked, usually that does stop the flow and rotation of money. So it might affect Lucid in one way or another. Let me know your thoughts on that. It might coincide with what the PIF potentially recently said, how Saudi PIF said to ready stock sales worth billions. PIF said to explore plans to pare back stakes in some firms. So whether that be Lucid, I'm not necessarily sure. I don't anticipate that by any means, but you never know at this stage in the game. So like I said, I was just going to get your 2 cents on that. But We do have our upcoming earnings on November the 8th, so that's very highly anticipated. These are the questions, or the most heavily voted questions, I should say, and I absolutely love how Lucid does give the power to retail investors to ask at least 3 questions. And so asking the right questions is very vital, and these 3 questions are very good. So number 1, when are you planning to start building and utilizing railway transportation in Casa Grande factory to reduce transportation costs for supplies and car delivery? I did do a video hypothetically shipping to through the UP to Houston and shipping it to from there to Europe potentially could save roughly about 40% in transportation costs. So definitely very advantageous for them to connect and utilize that railway. There was a very good question that was posed during one of my videos. I feel a lot of people might not necessarily know this. And the only reason why I know this is because I worked in the railway industry before. And so someone did ask, who pays for that actually to get built per se? Is it the UP or is it Lucid? And in every case, it is the customer. It's the customer's responsibility to build the track, maintain the track, and everything. So definitely it might be something for Lucid investors to be aware of in the bigger picture, because railway tracks are very, very expensive. But moving on, I do like that question. What is the production target for 2023? And that's actually a very good question too, because we haven't seen any guidance as far as what might come from that. As of right now, and estimates, and keep in mind these are from 2021 estimates, it is 49,000. I'd be absolutely ecstatic if they do maintain that 49,000. So that is also a very good question. And then finally, the third question is more so about the discrepancy between the number of produced vehicles and the actual number of deliveries. So there is that discrepancy going on there. So that's a very good question to ask. But regardless of all this, it is all fun in the grand scheme of things. Technicals are looking a little bit bearish as of right now. So we unfortunately did fail to get over that 50-day moving average once again. And it's one of those things that outside of this time period, we've tried a couple times to get over that and failed. Outside of this, it was July. So July, we were able to get over that. And I was actually very happy in a lot of videos about this, because a lot of other growth stocks were not over that pivot point of the 50-day moving average. So the fact that we did is a very big accomplishment. And outside of July, it was around November of 2021 is when we successfully did get over that 50-day moving average. So the fact that we're failing is not always a good sign. It's more so going to retrace back and consolidate, hopefully try again. But the fact that stochastic is at 80, so very overbought, potentially means that we are overdue for a little bit more of a downtrend. And you do see a little bit more of a deviation starting to occur as well on stochastic. So red line above the black, showing a bearish sentiment. And momentum, number of retail investors are just down today, plain and simple. So people are just not liking the overall what's happening to Lucid. And as of right now, it is $4.55, a little bit more of a sell-off during, I guess, power hour, if you want to call it that. And in reality, I think it's been a good couple months before Lucid had one of their epic rallies. And what I mean by that is the broader market's down 2%, whatever it is, Lucid's down 4%, and then from there we just turn green. It's been a while since we had one of those, and I think it would be very good for a lot of us as investors just to see that strength overall. But let me know your thoughts on Lucid in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe, is always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.